Whose procedure and to what end? I mean, there was no one else besides you that called his hospital seeking knowledge of his whereabouts.
So, and then it went into the procedure during the meeting. Is this really part of the questionnaires that I'm getting lambasted about this? Let me go on to say that this was also then, you didn't have a quorum. And so you would be in violation of the Brown Act. Well, so actually I helped you. Okay, next question, please.
I don't have any more questions. I think people know what's going on, so thank you.
What do you think is the most important issue facing the board?
Facing the board or the CSD?
The board of directors.
Well, I think we're split. The board is split, and I think that's, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, regardless of what happens this evening, that you guys can come together and work together for the good of the community and advance, you know, the needs that are needed for this community. That's what my hope is that, you know, that you can work together. Because right now I don't see the board members working together as well as they had in the past. So, yeah.
Okay. That's all the questions I have.
Okay.
How would you handle a situation where the board reaches a decision that you personally disagree with or that is unpopular with the community?
That I personally disagree with and unpopular with the community?
Correct.
Well, you know, I would want to I would probably want to well, that's kind of an interesting one, because if it was something that I didn't agree with, that the board voted for it, then I live with that. That's just...
We are as a whole?
Yes, absolutely. If the community came up to me and said, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, how you voted, then, you know, I would probably, I don't know what recourse there would be, you know, once it's voted on. Maybe speak with the president and have a further discussion and see maybe why it was met, you know, why the others, so that I could inform the constituents. But yeah.
And then I have the same question. Am I allowed to ask the same question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your long-term vision for the district, and how do you plan to balance community needs with limited fiscal resources?
Yeah, limited fiscal resources, that's for sure. So this is kind of an interesting situation where San Miguel is poised to be the next boom town, the next really beautiful town for our county. We are in need of expanding the wastewater treatment plant. That is without any housing being built at all, because the state of California has already said that we are in need to expand it. So with that being said, you know, make lemonade out of lemons. So we have to expand this, allow more housing to come in here, which, you know, I realize that's not up to us, that's up to the county. But when that does happen, then you have an opportunity now to develop that corridor, a downtown corridor. Right now, our wastewater treatment plant is so full, we can't even develop that. And now what you're having is you have more people that are, you know, instead of 900 accounts, you have that growing number of people to pay for the same services. That's how you, it's a simple economics 101. So I see this town as really in the next, 5-10 years, really becoming a beautiful place, not just economically solid, but also in beauty. What Mr. Baker had mentioned, greening up the downtown core, the late supervisor Harry Ovett had already worked on that with the sidewalks and that sort of thing. I've been here, for 30 years, and so, there isn't anyone that would love to see the beautification and the expansion of this town. But there won't be stores coming into this area, even if you have that all built up, unless you have more people here in the community. So, as long as our, water, sewer, as long as those are in balance, then we can serve that. But that's how we're going to do it. The other thing I will say too is that right now, we are able to, we're able to get grants. Being a community as we are, there will be a time when we will not be able to apply for those grants. We won't qualify for those grants. So I would say that, where we can, we should take advantage of that, because that's the only way that a community like ours is going to be able to lift ourselves up and to do these big projects like we're asking for and we're needing, So unfortunately, when this town was originally, the wastewater was originally built, it wasn't built large enough. They did anticipate. So what are we planning today that in 30 years, they're gonna say, wish you had done it a little differently, because now we really need this, and now we gotta go back and redo it all over again. So, that's what I would like to help with, kind of give some insight, just another, fifth mind on the board. So, anyway.
And then I think you kind of answered my other question I had. What is the one strong point and one weak point you see in our community?
Now, the weak point would be not having the wastewater treatment plant done, because without that, there's a lot of things that can't happen. The strong point is that we're basically a diamond in the rough, and we also have 2 museums. Third one, Camp Roberts, just down the road here. We have a gem. Our Mission San Miguel, I know I probably said this before, but it is the only mission with the original frescoes painted inside the mission church, the only one out of all of the California missions. So it is a beautiful treasure. It's right here in our backyard. So, to have a town that, fits that, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. So the benefit is, the negative is that we're not there, but the benefit is, what can we do? What can we achieve? And it's very exciting.
Thank you.
Any questions? Do you favor growth or anti-growth?
And I do favor growth as long as we have the resources to support it. Yeah.
Do you favor San Miguel controlling their own destiny?
I do. I think that it's important for us to keep the community service district. I know that there has been talk about, dismantling the C.S.D. I don't think that that's to the best interest of San Miguel. I definitely believe in keeping, as well as, all the services that come under it, including the fire department.
All right, last question. Do you believe that the community of San Miguel should be in control of their future? Or do you believe that the county of San Luis Obispo should be in control of our community services district in San Miguel Fire?
No, it's just what I said. It is, it's imperative for us as residents to be in charge of what happens here, because San Luis Obispo, the board of supervisors are a long ways away, and they don't have their finger on the pulse of this community. We all do. You do. And so it's vital that we are able to come up to the podium, any one of us, and to speak on topics that we feel is necessary. I have been in meetings where people will come. It's not necessarily a subject matter that is related to the C.S.D, but people are frustrated. And then the sheriff will be there because it's more of a sheriff's matter. And then the sheriff's deputy will handle that. And I think that's beautiful, that's great, you know, and, or, you know, our fire department or somewhat. So, yeah, it's an important, very important to keep it right here.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Video Shop.
Welcome back.
Good evening.
Good evening. David, do you have any questions?
Not right now, go ahead. I may have some.
Okay. First question. Do you know me from your Cal Poly workplace, as was alleged in the public comment that was read in the last meeting? It was you seemed to be describing it. We knew each other and had a relationship, or from our work, we were in collusion.
Sorry.
The public comment that was read in the last meeting.
I read the comment, you just said, you know, about students, is that the one?
No, there was a public comment that was alleging that you and I knew each other from Cal Poly.
Oh,
At the last meeting.
At the last meeting.
sorry, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. I'm sorry, I missed that, but no.
I worked there too, so if someone was
Oh, okay.
painting it in a way that was not true, and I wanted you to clarify
absolutely
that
not.
also.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't seen you out here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What do you think is the most important issue facing the board?
From what little I've seen, I would say I think there needs to be a consensus coming together and lots of topics. I think, you know, I mean, I come with a very neutral position. I don't have any history. So I think bridging gaps is very important. I think everybody has our own opinions. But when we come to serve the community, serve the people in this community, I think we need to build bridges and come together and form consensus.
Okay, thank you. And what financial experience do you have?
Well, I mean, we have our own winery and a vineyard, so I manage that along with my husband. I have worked on many grants, thousands of dollars. Just finished a couple of grants at Cal Poly, which really worked on research and things like that. And in general, I mean, I've worked with several nonprofits who have had thousands of dollars of budget. And fiscal responsibility in any organization is super important. I think that's we owe it to our members, we owe it to the organization. So that's really important to me, you know, staying within our fiscal responsibility and doing what's right for the community.
Great, thank you. So the last of my questions, pass it to you.
What is one strong point and one weak point you see in our community?
The strong point that I see is that we are so ideally beautifully situated. So when we moved to San Miguel, I think I was just blown away by the fact that we have a very ancient, you know, mission out here, which is really truly a jewel. And I truly believe that someday in the future will be on the UNESCO World Heritage. So we have an amazing town that has really a lot of fantastic future ahead of us. I think that's something we need to plan for, how we develop that. I think the weak point may be that we probably should have a little bit better planning for more sustainable growth, not random haphazard growth, just willy-nilly. I think we should have a good plan as to how we're going to move forward. And I think that is probably the most important part of any governance that resides in this community.
Excuse me, I have to stick with him. What is your long-term vision for the district, and how do you plan to balance community needs with limited fiscal resources?
That's a really good question. So long-term vision, I think I would like to see San Miguel as a vibrant community, people coming together. I'd like to see a lot of public participation in our meetings. Just a sense of pride of belonging to this community. I think that's really important. When people have a sense of pride, people come together, we do amazing things. So I think that's really important. Just our downtown, we could absolutely make it lovely. I think there's a lot of potential there. And in general, just, coming into a small town, I think we have the benefit of being, and I put a little sign outside, 2,336 people. And it's great. It's to have a small community, and I think that feeling of community feeling is super important, I think, for all of us to belong here and have that sense of pride. In terms of what is limitation, I would say probably our budget, since we're so small. Once again, the amount of financial resources we have is probably limited. So I think that we should work towards probably getting more finances. And one of the things I'm very good at is writing grants, and something I've done, and for nonprofit organizations, and just for my students and research and things like that. So I think there is money probably out there that we should seek and probably fund a lot of the projects that we require here. And a lot of people have mentioned about the wastewater facility here. I think that also needs to be planned development, so to speak, and see how we can, if we're growing, how do we balance that? We need to have the infrastructure. I think having the infrastructure is super important. So for that we need money, and I think that is a challenge. I think that's something we as a community, as a board, people need to come together and find solutions to that.
Okay. And then my final one. How would you handle a situation where the board reaches a decision that you personally disagree with, or that is unpopular with the community?
I think it's not about me. It's I represent the community, so community opinion matters. I think we should probably listen to the community, because at the end of the day we represent the community. So I think that's really important. My personal decision should not come into play, honestly. That's truly, I think that's where I think it's important. In any organization I've served, it's like, you put aside your personal differences and you come together for the betterment of the community. I think that's really important.
Perfect, thank you.
How are you? See if I can get my voice to work. Do you favor pro-growth or anti-growth?
I think we are going to have growth. I think we need to plan for it. I kind of do analysis just in general. I've been here for 6 years. I've seen the pattern of growth, and I see that we are getting a big development coming up. I think there needs to be an infrastructure that we need to plan for, we need to build, we need to have happening. I would say small, little stepwise growth is important, not big, huge developments. We just can't sustain it. We don't have infrastructure. Water is a pretty big issue for all of us. All those need to be taken into consideration, and I'm thinking, it's just inevitable. I think with the population growth and all the classes I teach, it is inevitable. So we just need to plan for that, and I think this body is in a great position to plan for the infrastructure of this community.
Do you favor San Miguel controlling its own destiny?
Yes, I do. I think our small public institutions are really important. I believe that our library, our fire station, all those things are important. I think people have trust in public institutions if they see it in person and see that they have a destiny in controlling that. I truly think that's what makes a community, I think.
Lastly, do you believe that the community of San Miguel should be in control of their future, or do you believe that the county of San Luis Obispo should be in control?
Oh, we should be in control.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, that's something, if we lose control, I'm not sure we're gonna get it back. And losing control is not a good thing if we want to chart our own destiny.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much.
Okay.
That's everything.
Is everyone, okay?
He's there with that letter.
Oh, yes. Do we have any, can we take public comment now? Okay.
You can discuss and then take public comment, or you can take public comment and discuss, whatever order you'd like to do it in.
Why don't we, well,
Public comment?
let's take some public comment first. Maybe public comment on any of the questions or candidate statements?
If there's no in-person comment, then we have several written comments.
Okay. So there's no in-person public comment? Okay. We'll defer to the written public comment, please.
Okay, the first one. I am a member of the San Miguel community. Dear board members, I am writing to again express my strong support for Raina Gregory's appointment to the San Miguel C.S.D. Raina is a dedicated and thoughtful member of our community who approaches issues with integrity and care. She will bring steady leadership and a genuine commitment to serving San Miguel residents. I respectfully encourage you to appoint her to this position. Thank you, Ethan Pollard. The next one, and this is the one you were referring to.
Yeah, the one, they emailed you, you emailed it.
Yes. Subject, Renee Gregory applying for board seat. Dear Board of Directors, I am writing as a resident of San Miguel to formally protest the appointment of Renee Gregory to the Board of Directors. Ms. Gregory's actions when she was called to the hospital, or when she called the hospital, the late director, John Green, while he was on his deathbed was appalling. He sadly passed away a few days later. She is now applying to take his seat. I find it ironic. Allegedly, Raina Gregory is actively suing the CSD connected to the Steinbeck case. Is this true? I also saw that there was a large sulfuric acid spill on her winery that ran into the ground and storm drain that leads to a river per the Cal Coast News article titled Sulfuric Acid Spills Lead to Hazmat Cleanup Near San Miguel, March 27, 2021. Sulfuric acid releases heavy metals that are trapped in the rocks and leach into the groundwater over time. Things like arsenic, cobalt, copper, cadmium, lead, mercury, and zinc. I formally want to say that I do not think Raina Gregory is a good fit for the board of directors. Someone who is suing the board while being on the board is a conflict of interest. Again, is she connected in any way to Steinbeck lawsuit for water? Shauna, San Miguel resident. The next one is, dear board members, I strongly am in support of Raina Gregory's appointment to the San Miguel CSD. Raina is a longtime community member who has always been very involved and works hard for the good of San Miguel. She is dedicated, thorough, intelligent, and always performs her due diligence before making decisions. I am confident she will bring strong and reliable leadership to San Miguel and will always serve San Miguel residents with their best interest at heart. I strongly and respectfully encourage you to appoint her to this position. Thank you, San Miguel resident, Mary Pollard. The next one is, says please read Thursday's meeting for 6.1. I live in San Miguel. I support appointment of Raina Gregory to San Miguel CSD. Raina brings strong problem-solving skills and a practical, solution-oriented mindset, proven leadership grounded in accountability and sound judgment, many years of active involvement in San Miguel community, valuable perspective and responsibility as a local business owner. Having already been on the board, she understands the needs of the community. Sincerely, Sebastian Scott. The next one is, dear board members, I am pleased to write this letter in recommendation for Raina Gregory for appointment as the director of San Miguel's Community Service District Board. I can confidently attest to her integrity, sound judgment, and commitment to the community of San Miguel. Raina consistently demonstrates her strong dedication to vitality and well-being of San Miguel. Through her civic involvement, she has shown the ability to listen thoughtfully, consider diverse perspectives, and make balanced decisions that serve the community's interest at large. In addition to her community involvement, Renette brings valuable skills that would benefit the district, including financial responsibility, collaborative leadership, transparent communication. These qualities are essential for effective governance in the community service district, where decisions directly affect essential services that SMCSD provides: water, sewer, fire protection, infrastructure. Renette will approach decision-making with an open mind. She will consider the input from the general manager, consultants, and the residents of San Miguel. Most importantly, she will foster a collaborative approach for producing productive working relationships with fellow directors, staff, and community members. Although I do not live in San Miguel, I am involved in several projects in San Miguel. I understand the challenges as a director of the community service district faces. San Miguel's residents would be honored to have Renette Gregory represent them. Thank you, Pamela Giardini of Templeton. And the next one, I'm going to read the narrative, but I'm not going to read the attachments because they are derogatory, and I'm just not going to read them. They will be on the website, so if anybody chooses to read them, they are more than welcome to after comment. Hello, I'd like my comment read aloud. Tonight, San Miguel C.S.D. will once again face a choice to not only fill a vacant seat, but determine its fate. 2025 was a disaster orchestrated by Owen Davis, who has been bent on destroying this town and shutting down the fire department. Berkeley Baker has been an ally of Owen Davis and does not belong on the board. Baker has been personally recruited by Owen to get back on the board. Baker previously served on the board, and his offenses against this town include voting to turn down a $1 million grant, opposing public safety programs, and twice voting against having a sheriff's office in town. Now that FPPC's staff have personally opened an investigation into him on 2 separate matters, those cases are nearly old and still ongoing. What an embarrassment to San Miguel. I checked. The cases are still ongoing to this day. Attached a screenshot of the FPPC's cases. Willful FPPC violations are a misdemeanor. I thought the goal was to improve San Miguel, and also disgusted about the sexism that candidate Renette Gregory is facing from the horrible video that Owen shared to awful Facebook posts. Why has no one condemned the comments and harassment that she and our staff have faced? I have included an example. Since she left the board in 2024, this place has gone to hell. I am thankful she has repeatedly stood up against Owen's BS. Say no to sexism, stabilize the CSD, say no to Owen's puppet. I support Renette Gregory for the board, Jay Brown, San Miguel resident, and again, there's attachments, but I am not going to read this.
And it will be redacted when it's on the website because we're not going to republish the profanity.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. We know there's no Jay Brown, and all that is a bunch of lies. So
That is the extent of the public comment.
Okay, thank you very much. Discussion's back to the board.
So do I get a chance to talk about one of the letters? Because it was saying some falsehoods.
We've had public comments. You elected not to have public comment, so it's back to the board.
I know, but you allowed Mr. Baker to counter what was said in one of the letters.
It was my question to him for the interview process.
Correct. So am I not also able to counter the claim that was said in
This isn't a discussion. We've already had your questions, and it was an interview. My question to him was an interview question. There aren't any more questions. The interviews have been concluded, and public comment is closed.
At the last meeting, Director Davis had said that the directors would be, the candidates would have a chance to counter refute any accusations that were said in the letters from public comment.
Through the question process.
I think for clarification, we were discussing the potential policy that's going to be brought forward in March,
Yeah.
which the board has not yet adopted, but there was discussion of allowing a rebuttal period from candidates when we were talking about
Yeah.
potentially implementing a policy for this process, which we do not currently have a policy
Yeah,
for.
the policy. So the interviews have concluded and public comment is closed. Now it's for the board to discuss and potentially make a nomination.
I can move that we allow Renee to rebut.
Second. I feel each one of them, each one of our candidates, if something was said about them, they should be able to defend themselves. I mean, as long as it's, if it's if it's not a 10-minute discussion,
Yeah, just very quick.
I mean,
So if that's the case, then we have Owen to defend himself based on the public comment. We'll have to have Berkeley
Okay,
Baker.
well, that's the way it works.
well, yeah, I mean, the problem I see here is, I don't know, previous issues per se, I just want it to be fair for everybody.
Sure, I fully understand what you're saying, but I'm not saying I disagree. But, if anyone in this room listens to the public comment, there are two camps of people, right? And if you're not in this camp, well, you're throwing digs and shade at this person. If you're in this camp, you're throwing digs and shade at this person. So I understand what she wants to say in rebuttal, but the fact is, if it wasn't true, it wasn't true, right? So we all have been subject to untrue statements through public comment, through in-person public comment, on Facebook, and everything else. So we can sit here and have you come and rebut somebody's statements in public comment, which may or may not be true, but where is it gonna go? Where are we going with all of it? Because now we're gonna bring Berkeley Baker up to refute what was said in his public comment, and I think it's only fair that Owen Davis get a chance to speak about what was said about him. So if you guys want to, go down that road, then.
Down that road.
Okay.
I don't want to go down that road.
They
Okay.
don't have to move to do that, they can just agree that it.
Well, if he's not on board to defend what was said about him, then I'm not on board either. Because it has to be fair and equal for everyone that had a negative comment.
There's a motion and a second on the floor.
You do not have to take a formal vote on this. If you all agree that that's how you want to move forward, then you can, by consensus, is fine.
I disagree. I say no. If Director Davis is not willing to speak
I disagree also.
to what comments were said about him.
So do you want to take a formal vote then?
Sure.
Okay.
Director Davis,
No.
Director Smiley,
Yes.
Director Beatty,
Yes.
Director Sangster.
No.
Fails 2-2.
We'll open to further discussion. Someone has a discussion point or nomination or motion, I'm all ears.
I nominate Renee Gregory to fill the position on the board.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
So we have a nomination, or a motion to appoint Renee